Hello, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me in the chat, and I'll get started. Hi. I see some people here already. Hi, Geraldine, Queen Victor, Sandra. Nice to see you. Nice to see you here, guys. Just gonna wait a couple seconds here. Let a couple people get in here. Maybe some of my moms show up. Hi, Cricket. Hi, Braden. Nice to see you here, guys. Now, just giving you guys a heads up. I did not get very much sleep last night. My daughter decided after doing a live stream with Robert last night on Typical Skeptic, which if you haven't had a chance, go ahead and take a look at that. Hi, Noble Truth. Nice to see you here. Oh, Greg, nice to see you. So if you haven't yet, pop over to Typical Skeptic, give them a follow, and you can see the interview and tarot card pulling that we did yesterday. So I was feeling pretty good from that stream. And my daughter must have I feel like she's very psychic. So I feel like she really picked up on my high type of energy, high vibe afterward. And she was up really late with me. And we had a good time together. So, I mean, it wasn't like, one different times when you're like, please just go to sleep. I want to go to sleep. It wasn't like that this time, but I did go to sleep really late, which is not usual for me. And I woke up really early. Because it's just natural for me still. I'm still in the habit of waking up early from when I was driving my son to school. So let me see if there's any new people. Oh, nope. Hi, did I say hi to you? Yeah, I did say hi to you, Dennis. Waiting to see if Alexis or Miss Liz shows up here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. The solstice. Wow, I stayed up like that on the solstice. I was like energized from it. Wow. That's a pretty cool thing to think about there. So yeah, I don't really have much planned today. I mean, I do have some things in my head to talk about for sure, but I didn't write out my usual list of what to follow like I usually do. So this could, go either way here. Hopefully I can stay on track. I think I will be able to. I do think Spirit will guide me through it, so that way I can share with you guys a little bit, just a small little bit of what I've been going through with in regards to healing and some things that I've been uncovering about myself that I think are just really helpful to bring to the forefront, bring to people's awareness that this could be some of what's going on here. Because as you guys know, I've definitely have been having my struggles this past year, I would say over a year now, dealing with narcissistic abuse and trying to figure out the way to come through that and heal from that afterward, like put an end to it. And then now what do I do now that the nonstop chaos of the abuse itself has ceased pretty much finally? But now what do I do with the aftermath type of thing? Like at this point, it's like I'd watched all these videos and because it's like I'm just looking for, okay, what is it? Explain this to me. I want to understand this. I want to know what it is I've been through, especially because it's not the first time that I've been through something like this. So, because my second ex-husband, I mentioned this before, he absolutely was a narcissist. He even to the point where he would actually go to meetings every now and then for narcissistic awareness or whatever the meeting is, like an NA type thing, but for narcissists. So I started thinking about okay, how do I get back on this healing journey? Because when I look in comparison, there are some very similar comparisons to the awakening that I had when I was in my 20s, and then how that eventually led to the poor choices I made in relationships and things like that, to where my heart eventually, the emotions completely died out of it. And how did that happen, and how do I prevent that from happening again? Because I could feel it. I could feel that's what was happening. Okay, when you get into certain type of interaction with a person, and you can, like for me, since my high heart had been on, I could literally feel it, like someone sliced me, hurt my heart area. I felt like it energetically. I would feel that, and it was so upsetting to me, because to me, having had this heart restoral or reactivation or whatever, that was like my most precious gift that I felt like God ever gave me, that brought me to this experience, and to have these feelings in this way and have my heart work up and turn on in this way. And for that's like my utmost job, is to take care of that and to protect that and to keep that, because that's what propels me forward. That's what keeps me connected. That's what gives my life meaning. Okay. So once I binge watched all the, all the different little intricacies of what narcissism is and how it goes about and how it works in relationships and, yada, yada, yada. And the YouTube channel, I want to give it a shout out, just because if anyone is looking for information on this stuff. Oh, hi, Selena. I just saw you. Looked down for a second. Oh, and Barry. Hello, Barry. And Brian. Nice to see you guys. So anyway, the YouTube channel is Richard Grannon. Okay. He's been very, very helpful. Okay. So the next thing I was looking for, hi, Hope. The next thing I was looking for, okay, was some real world practical, like, ideals of how long it's going to take to really start to get out of this hole, and something that I could put into practice that could help me, start to heal this stuff, start to not like put the right ointment on it, like medicine. Okay, that's what the only comparison I can think to make to it right now. So I did find something, and so I'm going to share that with you guys here, because I think it's going to be helpful for anyone else who has experienced stuff like this, just even trauma in general. So what it is a 5-finger mnemonic is what he called it. All right. And this was really helpful to me. Now, it's like basically like a check-in with yourself. And I've heard of this idea of check-ins before, because, I go through ESA, which is Z Earth Star Healers, Earth Star Academy. And she talks about check-ins a lot. And that's part of what she gives us for homework and stuff. But this guy presented it in a different way for me that I think I found just very helpful, because one of the biggest things that happens when you go through a situation like this, when you go through experiences like this, is the CPTSD, okay, which is just, there's PTSD, which is the post-traumatic stress disorder, and then there's CPTSD, which is complex, okay, post-traumatic stress disorder, which all that means is that it's a lot of micro traumas, okay, that are pervasively causing you problems and stuff, like emotional flashbacks and things of that nature, like just getting stuck in it, having those words and those experiences replay in your head, like sometimes not even intentionally, And for me, I realized that, okay, I definitely have a lot of emotional flashbacks, because at this point it was still fresh. It's still new. Now I'm stuck with all these emotions. How do I process this? How do I grieve this? How do I feel this? Okay. And so this was the mnemonic that he gave. All right. And I felt this was really helpful to pull myself out of going down those roads, letting that neurological loop play. Like, you want to interrupt the pattern. Okay. Because that's the problem with narcissistic abuse, is that it colonizes your brain and it retrains you, reprograms you to think a certain way. So now you have to reprogram yourself. Okay. The same way they did it, like, nonstop until it was done, until the programming was in. Right? You got to do the same thing back. You got to walk yourself out of it, so to speak. So the first thing is you're going to tap your thumb, okay? And you're going to remind yourself that you are you, that you are not your flashback. You're not your emotional flashback. You're not your mental health issues, that you are you. You need to have self-compassion, okay? It's like utmost importance. Have compassion for yourself. I think about it like, treat yourself like you would a child. Really stop and pull yourself out of those moments, especially if you have a really strong inner critic, because, that's part of what happens is these other person's voice, the experiences of it, they add into the already ones that we already had from other past experiences, okay? So remember that you are you. You are not these emotional flashbacks. The second one, and I thought this was so good, okay? So the pointy finger is going to be, this is what I want to feel. Set your intent. What is it that you are wanting to experience? Joy, love, happiness, safety, comfort. What is it that you want? Set your intentions, okay? And then the third one, okay, the middle finger here, is going to be, let me see if I can remember it. I'm trying to do my job here, right? Remember it good. The third one was, I welcome my emotions, okay? So you're going to think about, this one's like the longest finger here, and so you're going to welcome the wisdom of whatever your emotions, your current emotions are in your body. Welcome them. All right. And then the fourth one was self-interested actions. This was a really hard one for me to get out to do myself, like to do for myself, even like as I was going through like years of this stuff. Okay, like it was hard for me to, with all the kids that I have, to feel important enough to be able to take actions for myself that were like of self-interest, like things that I want to do. Okay, classes that I wanted to take, books I wanted to read, things of that I needed. You really need to make sure that you have some actions that you're taking for yourself. Self-interested actions is a healthy thing to do. So, and then the fourth one was to remind yourself that this is me and that is them. Like this, like chop. This is mine, that is yours. I'm responsible for what's mine. You're responsible for what's yours. Okay, so you just keep that in mind. Hi, Joanna. Hi, Brian. So you want to keep that in mind when you have these things come up. He suggests that you do it 5 times a day, which I've been doing it probably a little bit more than that, just stopping and reminding myself because I found it so helpful. So the other thing I want to talk about real quick, because I'm probably going to be talking more about this, again, like how do I get out of this? How did I get here? Okay, what is it that maybe attracted this to my life, this situation in my life? We're going to talk about attachment styles. I guess I'm getting a little nervous because like I didn't know for sure if I was really going to go into the whole attachment style thing today, but I guess I am. So the other thing that happened was, after watching all these videos, okay, I just happened to come across one, all right, that was about attachment styles. And they brought up this particular attachment style, and I was listening about it. And I was like, holy shit, that actually makes a lot of sense. I was like, oh, wow, like, so this actually explains a lot of certain things that I feel that I thought was just normal things that I was having to work through. But actually, and I'll just tell you what it is now, it was fearful avoidant attachment style. Okay. Hi there, Miss White Swan. Glad to see you here. So I learned that with fearful avoidant attachment style, that all the things that I've been talking to you guys about not knowing how to let myself receive love, right? This explains it. Okay. And what it is that it is a result from childhood experiences, childhood trauma, usually 0 to 2, because I guess that's when you develop your attachment style. And you can take a quiz and find out what your attachment style is. There's plenty of them online. All you have to do is search it, attachment style quiz, and you'll find it. And so what happens for a fearful avoidant attachment style is that their caregiver, they gave a good example in some of the videos I watched, and she put it like this: like, let's say your caregiver has an alcohol problem, so some days they're really happy, and they're really happy, and maybe they're drunk, but then other days maybe they're sober and they're irritable and they're coming down, and then maybe other days they are drunk but they're like mean and they're angry, and then maybe other days they're sober but they're really happy and they're loving, and you're not really knowing what to expect from that caregiver. Okay, it can make you want to be fearful of close, intimate connections. And it's just so funny. I just thought it was by Gemini nature. Like I just thought Gemini's air signs. They're non-committal. They don't like commitment. Scare them. Like, oh well, you know what? I'll scare them if you have a fearful avoidant attachment style. That's gonna scare you. Getting close emotionally to someone, depending on someone. Okay, letting yourself feel like you can depend, like need them, that you need this person, that they have something that they could go away from you, that they could take away from you, that will cause you this pain, right? So it just made perfect sense to me, all of these certain behaviors and problems and issues that I had with just even being, why it was so scary for me to share my feelings with other people. It's because that vulnerability is such a scary thing for someone who has a fearful avoidant attachment style. And here I just thought, I thought it was just something weird about me. I just thought, I don't know. I if I really respect someone, and I really like, I don't know, like, what if they're this, what if they're that? And I'll tell you some of the things that I would tell myself, try when I'm not letting myself get close to someone. It was like, what if they're lying? What if they're pretending? Because I've been through that. What if they're lying? What if they're pretending? What if they do hurt me? And I mean, look, I got my confirmation on that, because again, I think a part of this is a reflection, truly, the reality that we believe we deserve is what we get. And that is why I've been working so hard all these years to get myself to the point where I'm healing enough to where I feel worthy of love. I feel worthy of, a comfortable, safe environment. I feel worthy of, a job that I love, or interactions and friends that I love and I feel close to. I've been chipping away at this. All right. So it's just so amazing. Just blows my mind. I really feel like Spirit has been trying to force me to look at this for so long, and I wasn't getting it. That it wasn't clicking. It truly took this situation here to really bring me to the forefront of, okay, what else is there? What is there to heal in me that I am having a really hard time looking at? I don't want to be afraid to look at myself and look at what I might find in here. And now I see, now I can see that there's definitely work to do. And I'm just so glad that I got this puzzle piece. I'm just so glad that I got this puzzle piece, because I could work with that. Before it just seemed like it was like, okay, well, maybe I just like the ideal of a relationship more than I actually want to actually be in a relationship. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that I do want to experience close connections with people, but I think that for me, they truly are terrifying. Right now, anyway. So I'm working on it. And I will definitely let you guys know how it goes, as I keep going down this road here. Sorry, I'm just getting pulled up by some of the comments. I'm just going to take a little look here. Oh, thank you, Miss White Swan. Thank you for that. Okay. Yeah, just reading through real quick, guys. Yeah, exactly, Cricket. So that's what I'm working on, a little bit at a time here. I'm just very grateful that I've gotten this far, and I feel like a part of my growth cycle, like finally, like maybe that I was at a little bit of a stuckness, you know what I'm saying? And now I finally pushed through something. I finally got something that I could work with more, And so then the other thing I was thinking about, let's see, am I going to go into that? Yeah, I was thinking about how I even got started here, how I ended up here on YouTube, like how did I end up here? Like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 1 year ago almost is when I started this channel, and so I was really just thinking back, like, what is it that inspired me to get through and do this, And part of my healing journey, it came from learning how to take time for myself and set time aside for myself every single day to show myself that I was worthy of being cared for, that what I wanted and desired was important, And so back when I first had my daughter, all right, the first people that came up to me, what got me into this community even was Gaia and the whole Corey Good and David Wilcock, But after I found them and they suggested all these new people, it's like it opened up a whole new world of people for me to listen to. And I was really big into video games at the time. I don't play so much anymore, but at the time I used to play a lot of video games. And so I would just sit there and I would put one of my ear pods in and I would play a video in the background and I would listen as I would play. And so I was listening to Laura Eisenhower's channel. All right. And at this point, I was taking a break because I remember specifically I was watching it at this point. I was watching it, and I was watching an interview with Matthew Mordian. Okay. And it was the craziest, weirdest thing. All right. I was watching him, and sound waves, visible sound waves, one of the first real physical things I ever seen, really, came off of him. Okay. And I rewound the tape because I thought, well, is that just like the camera adjusting? Like, how lenses do sometimes? But no, it wasn't there. And so I kept watching. And then it happened again. And now I'm kind of like, what is going on? Like, now I'm really interested. Now I'm like, what is this? Like, what is going on here? Why am I seeing like some weird booming sound thing come off of this person as they're talking about this stuff that I absolutely resonated with? And so at that point in time, spirit had just finally, I could find, I got my connection back. I was hearing them more, okay, and I was feeling them around me more. They guided me through the Course in Miracles. They guided me to all of these things to do this detoxing in my body, you know. And so now here I was, and I could feel them telling me something, and they were telling me, follow him. So I did. I said, okay, I can follow him. So I started watching all this stuff, okay. And eventually, you know, he started doing classes, and so I got to start taking those classes, and it was the first time. And again, we're going back to this number one, this finger here, self-interested action. I realized that this is what I started to do to get me on my healing journey. And I don't know how many other, especially mothers out there, don't leave time for themselves, you know. And so finally, I was making time for myself and something I wanted to do. Because even when I was doing my Qigong, even when I was doing the Course in Miracles, I always had my kids around me. You know, I didn't, like, I couldn't shut them off from me, you know, which makes it a little bit hard to meditate, but you learn how to do it around them. And so now I had this opportunity where I could do these classes, okay, and I could make that time for myself, and I could shut the door, and I could say, no, like, this time is time for me. And I could do this contemplation even outside of it. Okay. And it brought me to one of the first interesting experiences that I ever had when it came to spiritual stuff, the energy body, um, the light body, the auras. Okay. So I was thinking about, and this is all around the same time. And there was something else that I'm going to get to. I just have to put that down aside so I can remember it. I started thinking about this Twitter thing that I saw. It was about scalar waves. Yes. And so it showed that that these blades of grass, like, cut up and, like, super magnified in on it, and it looked like they had smiley faces in it. And so I was thinking about scalar waves, and I thought about the fact, you know, scalar toning and scalar waves and scalar. What is scalar, you know? And I was driving to my son's school to pick him up. And as I thought about it, as I was just contemplating, what is this? You know, and that's why I feel like words are so powerful. They have energy behind them, you know. And I felt a buzz in the middle of my forehead here. It went bzz, inside. And I was like, wow, what was that? And so I parked, and I get out of the car, and I go to look at my phone. And as I look at my phone, there was this pink glow all around me, on my phone, all on my arms. I was like, what is this? I looked up in the sky. Is there some kind of, like, pink sky going on here or something? That's the only conclusion I could come up with, but it wasn't. It was just a blue sky. And I realized at that point that it was coming from me, because this is my aura, you know? So yeah, to bring it back home though with that, all right? So I started following Matthew Mornian, and then I got this idea in my head. Like, this is how I know that they were communicating with me, okay? It's because the energy, they amp up the energy when they're around me, talking to me. When I'm getting it right, they get really excited, okay? Like, that's the only way. I hope I can, like, send that to you guys. They get real excited when I start to get the answer. And so I said, I'm like, are you guys telling me? Because I mean, like I said, I resonated with this guy, the scalar toning thing. I thought it was amazing. I thought this guy is, like, so super cool. Like, I'm just gonna, he's, like, so full of knowledge. I wanted, like, soak up that knowledge. And so I said to them, I said, are you guys trying to tell me that it's possible that I could end up somehow being like this guy? And they said, yes, you got it right. Yes, you could. I was like, okay, you know, I guess, all right, what is it we're doing? And for a while there, I just thought maybe it was just tarot and stuff like that. But no. Because then last year, okay, in the summer, that was when and here's the thing. I think it's really important. I think they talk to me the most when I'm in these high vibe emotional states. Okay. And that is what I slowly worked myself up into, is finding a way to keep my vibration high to where it was easier for them to talk to me and to tell me these things. Because at the time, and with, like, songs and stuff that they talked to me through, all right, and they told me, like, time is running out, basically. Okay. Like, you have to do this. They're saying, they're like, it is time. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, get out there. Like, you need to share your messages. This is the whole point. Like, you are supposed to be who you are, share your messages, be real, be authentic. Because if there's anything that I've learned, from all these experiences is that the people I love and care about the most are the people that come across that you can feel are real. You can feel they're authentic. You can feel that they know they're not perfect, okay? But you can feel also that they are always looking to grow. Like they're not afraid to keep growing. It's very important to be willing to look at all of yourself with kindness and compassion, but also with truth. I think that's the main takeaway that I took away from all those years of experiences there. If I were to put it in a nutshell, it was that I wanted to share who I really was with all of you guys. And I really think that that was part of my mission here on earth, was coming here to be here with you guys at this point, even right now. So thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for helping me get here. Thanks for being here with me while I do all this, because it has been so helpful. It helped me find my voice. I had suppressed that. I had suppressed it for so many years. Like part of having a fearful avoidant attachment style, if we want to bring it back to that, is feeling like you can't express your needs. Feeling like you don't, like for me personally, like you don't have a right to ask for them even. Like even if you do, what are they going to do? Are they going to probably not give it to you anyway, right? Like that's the programming that I have to work on. And once you start, I know this, once you start changing that programming, okay, things will change and shift in your life in a way that will be in alignment with those beliefs, with those thoughts, with those feelings. All right, because I've asked myself at this point, like I thought my eye was on the prize always of highest timeline of love and joy for myself and all of humans, all of Earth, and certainly this past year is not exactly felt. There have been moments, there's been a lot of moments where I've had feeling like I was still in alignment, but like sometimes you ask yourself, like, how could this be? How could this be my timeline of highest love and joy? I believe now it can be, because I believe that this was necessary to get me to look at this problem, okay, of my own emotional wounding that I need to heal in order to be able to have connections with people that are deep and intimate and loving and feel meaningful. Not that I don't have those, don't get me wrong, I do, okay, but in certain areas I don't. In certain areas I don't. In certain ways I don't let myself ever feel too, and if I do, well, now I'm definitely terrified. If that happens, oh, now I'm definitely like, okay, let me just go ahead and I'll see you later. And that's the issue. The last time I went through something like this, okay, was we have the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response, right? Well, I turned to flight response through addiction, because that's really what addiction is. It's trying to get away from that pain, trying to dissociate from it, not be in this reality, alter it somehow. And I'm not going to choose that route this time. I'm going to choose a different route. And that was, and this one little, this popped into my head earlier, part of the ways that I managed to get myself off of drugs. Okay. Not that I completely don't have chemicals that I do from time to time. I'll be honest with you guys. Like I smoke weed still, I take edibles still, like I still take kratom, because I used to be addicted to opiates. All right. And I eventually weaned myself off of all the pharmaceutical ones, onto this plant-based one basically. But I started realizing that I had to work with my body. If my body felt like it has all this anxiety about wanting this routine, wanting to know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really, I think, the thing that keeps me most anxious is just like not knowing what to do. So when you have a routine, it feels good. It feels like, okay, this is safe. Feeling safe is like so important to everyone, but especially for someone who has a fearful avoidant attachment style. Feeling safe is like a numero uno there. Like that's the thing that I think I focus on the most. Like, do I feel safe or not? So having that routine would make me feel safe. So what I started doing was I started replacing the drugs I was taking, because they prescribed me a lot of different things, for like Prozac, all these things, Xanax, you name it, something, you'd have a side effect and they give you another pill. So I started replacing all my pills with supplements and things that would stimulate me naturally, and it slowly did. It worked. I really had to learn to work with myself and be disciplined. And that's the thing I think I fear the most, or I was fearing the most, having been through this past year, was that it felt like it took all this stuff that I learned, all this discipline that I had created for myself. It felt like it's kind of like stripped me away from it. It put a new discipline in, where I'm beating myself up and being hard on myself and judging myself now, because because words mean more to me than actions, I guess, sometimes. That's what it was. That's basically what I was learning through all this. Okay, is that because this is true. What you say to me, I'm gonna remember. I'm gonna remember what you say. I'm gonna remember how you said it. Remember, the energy around you when you said it. Okay, and those are the things. If you say things, if you are impulsive, and because we're all humans, we all make mistakes. I get that. I'm not trying to punish someone for an eternity for making mistakes and saying something that was mean, here and there, but this was a different thing. This was a different level. And so those words stuck with me. It didn't matter if there was no action behind those words in the long run. The words alone were enough to cause me to go into such fearful state that I push away. If I get scared, you're mean to me, well, bye. Like, I don't want to be like that. I really don't want to be like that. I do eventually hope to have a companion of some sort that I can feel close to and connected with and share with and trust. So that is the healing journey aspect of today's live stream. Someone's tapping at my door, so I'm taking a look. It's my daughter. Hi. All right. Well, she just came home. I didn't know she was going to be home right now, but my sons are here, so they'll be watching her. So anyway, let's go ahead and pull. Oh, let's do the fortune cookie. That was the part. All right, let's take a breath. I made it through it. More to come on that. All right, let's look at that fortune cookie. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. All right, what message does the collective need? Fortune cookie style, guys. Had a lot of fun last night on that live stream too. That was definitely threw me off a little bit. A little bit threw me off because I didn't know he was gonna add the psychic part in there, like psychic reading. So I think people started asking me questions that were mainly for like a psychic medium type of mediumship, which I can do, but that's not like my strongest muscle. My strongest, I felt like, was my tarot. So it was a little tricky, but I managed to do it, and it felt good, felt right. All right, just dropping things over here. Okay, so we got enhance your karma by being kind to everyone you encounter. Oh, that's wonderful. That's lovely. So, well, you know what? We'll set the Adventure Time ones out for now. Now we're going to get the other one. Let's do the collective card reading, guys. Who's ready for it? I know I always look forward to it. What is it we're going to pull for this week? All right. Sorry for the silence. I'm kind of just reading your guys' comments there. Yes, you're ready for it? Awesome. I'm ready. Okay. Right. Please assist me in this reading for the collective. Okay. One more time. Okay. Message for the collective. Message for the collective. Message for the collective, please. Ring, ring. Okay. Yeah, we're ready. Message for the collective. All right. First card we got is the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so what is the Ace of Pentacles? Well, like all aces, All right, this is an opportunity for a timeline shift. All right, this is something that is more grounded, okay, more down to earth. Um, it's a very lucky card. It definitely implies that luck is coming your way. It can do with material things, even like a new timeline of um, grounding and abundance materially. Okay, luck and such of the things of that nature, things that are just more concrete that you could see. All right, but we're going to pull some more cards here. So we got this new timeline shift. So you're making new choices, right? And now it's gotten you on a new path where you're going to have more stability. All right, let's see what else. If anything else comes through, I'll let you guys know. I'm getting the feeling they don't usually always give me these things, but I feel like this is something that is coming into full fruition over the next couple months up until August. I don't usually do timeline stuff, but I'm just getting that feeling like an egg, like you can see. And I do it. And they're telling me this because of the flowers on the card. Okay, and they kind of remind me of a late bloom. Okay, so it might be slow, like this new timeline shift. It might be slow into transitioning and coming into vision for you, but it is happening. Okay, what's the rest of the message? Okay, I almost used a version of the Hermit as my thumbnail today, guys. So it's kind of funny that we got the Hermit. Okay, it's time to do that inner work. It's the time to take that inner journey. Okay, to find the light inside yourself, to find out what's in that cave that you need to see. You know, it's like even with with the swords here, we got the swords going on behind him. To me, that says put your thoughts, put your words behind you. That's not where you need to be right now. You need to go inside. Okay, do the inner excavation. That's what's going to help you on this. Maybe that is the timeline. That is the new reality we're bringing forward. Is that we're going to be taking this walk inside of ourselves to see what it is that is really there that we need to take a look at. Okay, let's see. What's the last part of the message? What's the last part? Okay. I get the feeling that what it's saying is that it's going to be, it might feel like hard work. It might feel boring even. But ultimately, since we got the Four of Cups, this is like being there, having the thing that you, having it, like, but having the things that you want, having the emotions maybe that you want, but wondering, like, what else is there? What other emotions are there out there? Oh wait, is that cup just right up in the sky that I can just grab it? Is it just right there for me to grab already and I just not even noticing it? So maybe a refocus on the fact that maybe there's something that you feel like you don't have that actually it's right in your sights. It's already there. It's already present. Okay? It's just up to you to be willing to look up and be aware of it and notice it. That you have this thing. All right? This emotionally fulfilling thing, because that's what the cups represent. They represent the emotions. They represent the heart. All right? So I really like that reading for us, for the collective here. And for myself, I like that a lot. I hope that resonated with you guys. And we're going to go on to the Adventure Time ones now. Because you know how much I love my Adventure Time. You've been on my channel long at all. I talk about it every single time. Adventure Time's the bomb. I'm still a child at heart, yes. I still like cartoons. And part of the thing is that I have so many kids and they're young. Okay, like if I don't have some cartoons to watch with them, when you're trying to like get them to go get tired, like let's sit down, like some bonding activity, like especially in the wintertime. Like, what are you gonna do? We'll sit down and watch a show together. Okay, so let's do this reading. Reading for the collective. Just give me a second, guys. Boop. Okay. Reading for the collective. Okay. One more time. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. One more time. Oh! I was like, no, you're done. I'm not. No, I'm not. You know I don't do it like that, guys. You know I have to do all 4 piles. Oh, I hope I don't. Yeah, am I doing this one? I know. I was about to reverse some of them, but I didn't. Okay. Message for the collective. Message for the collective. Well, thank you, Sandra. Appreciate you being here. All right. Here we go. And if I haven't said already, let me just go ahead and take a quick stop, because I try to remind myself to say this at the beginning. But if you are new to my channel, please subscribe. And please give this a thumbs up. Okay? Thank you. And if you're looking for a more personalized reading, please email me at auroradiamondheart@gmail.com. Okay, yeah. Okay. Message for the collective. Okay. Yep. We got her last week. And so we got her again this week, and it's another ace card. So apparently we are still on the move with this timeline shift. Okay, in this regard, it's talking about actions, the way we show up in the world, you know, the things that make us passionate, the things that drive us. Okay. So yeah, it could be, it's like a blossoming new talent even, maybe, okay, happening here. But either way, something and how you do things in the world is shifting. I like that for both of you. We got that, the grounded card first, the Ace of Pentacles, and now we got the Ace of Wands. So whatever it is that we're doing is working. Okay, let's see what else we have to say. Let's see more of the message. Okay. We got the 8 of Coins. All right. Okay, so in this particular case, this is a character known as Abracadaniel, and he was an apprentice, basically. He's an apprentice wizard, and you basically saw him practicing the same magic spell over and over and over again. That's how you saw him doing the work. Okay, so the 8 of Coins to me says that whatever it is that you're doing, whatever concrete thing that you're doing, like me talking about doing the hand mnemonic, okay, for the emotional flashbacks and healing, like putting in that disciplined dedication, doing it over and over and over again, you know, you're really creating something here. You're really creating something real and substantial. And he, like, for him, you see him, he's creating a rainbow right there. He's actually creating his magic. So for me, like, it makes me feel like I'm going to be able to get my magic back, feel my magical feel back, okay? Because that's part of what my life situation has taken me out of, feeling as connected. Okay, so no, whatever work we're doing, whatever new way of being in the world we are activating here. All right, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep creating something good. Okay, and it's real. All right, let's pull one more card. What's the message? Okay. All right. We got the Devil card. Interesting. So, I mean, obviously it's a devil character. He's not a devil in the show. He's a demon in the show who Finn and Jake actually, their dad steals his blood to make Finn's hero sword, the first one that he has. Okay, so this is something, oh my gosh. See, now this is going to be a little bit different interpretation than I usually give for the devil, because I'm really just noticing some of these things here. Okay, he's sitting on top of a vault. Okay, now, if you don't know Adventure Time, I'll tell you what that vault is. That vault is the repressed memories and traumas that Finn has in his mind, that's where he puts things, his bad experiences. He just puts them and locks them away until the very last episode, okay, where him and Fern confront those things. Okay, so this is something that you've done to yourself, okay? This is something that it's time to address, the things that you've done to yourself. All right, those suppressed feelings, those suppressed memories, those suppressed experiences that maybe you didn't let yourself feel, because like I said earlier in the talk, like part of the flight response that I had in order to get away from my pain and escape it was to turn to drugs. All right, so that's something that I brought upon myself, things of that nature. There's someone else in there. I'm trying to see what else that little thing is. Okay, it's not a character that I'm recognizing. So yeah. Okay, interesting. I don't know where that sound came from at all. But bottom line, how I'm reading this together, okay, with the Ace of Wands and you doing something new, and this timeline shift of something that you're doing new that is driving you, that you're passionate about, that you're inspired to do. All right, you're going to keep practicing it. All right, you're gonna get better, but something physical that you can do. Really weird. Okay, something physical that you're doing, that you're going to continue to do, that you're going to get better at doing and creating these same things again and again and again. And ultimately, it has to do with seeing where you have done things to yourself, so to speak. See what's there that you're not dealing with, the emotions that you're not dealing with, and it really even links up with the last collective card reading that we got for with the Hermit and everything like that. This is about going in there and finding those memories, those traumas, and being willing to process that. All right, because I feel like that's exactly what I'm doing. That's the new passion that I have found, that I am wanting to. I want to dive in there, and I want to see these things. I want to feel these things, and I want to be released from that, and I want to be able to help others figure out how to do that, because it's these things that we've vaulted in our own mind. That's the programs. It's the programs that are keeping us from not living that life that would be most meaningful, that would feel most fulfilled, that would that you could say is that your highest timeline of love and joy. Like, if we got to go through these things in order to get to that. Okay, so I'll leave that to you guys. All right, with both readings, I feel pretty good about them. Feel like we're making progress. Yep. All right then. Okay. I hope that you guys found that helpful and that it resonated with you. I feel pretty good overall about the stream, even though I was so tired. And I was like, oh, there was some, I'm like tripping up over my words. I'm like, oh, I can tell that's from sleep deprivation a little bit. But ultimately, I think I got it all out. Yes. All right. If there's any questions, I should open it up for questions. If there is any questions that you guys have before I head on out here. Oh, thank you, Joanna. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. I really appreciate you, girl. Praying for you. Okay. Well, it was really nice hanging out here with you guys. Yeah, it was really nice. I feel pretty chill right now, so I'm definitely going to relax for the rest of the evening and probably watch something on TV. Okay, I'm seeing a question that I'm going to read here. So Noble Truth said, how are you feeling now that you are able to move more freely at home? That's true sometimes. That's true sometimes. There are other times, though, where it's still a very frightening experience, but I do feel like I'm able to focus more on the healing aspects of what it is I'm doing now, as opposed to just focusing on the bad feeling of what it was. I like replaying the experience in my mind, replaying the words that they said, replaying how I felt, what I said, what I could have said back, things like that. Like that has completely lessened up. Okay, so, and that energy of feeling like I was like someone, and this is the crazy thing, because that's when there's an energy that's pressing you all the time, you get used to it. Let's say you don't really recognize it, especially if it comes in like really slowly. I just like a grasp, just getting you used to the pressure of it. and then now it's gone, and it's like, what you would, this is coming out. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? I hope you are. It's basically like, now that I can feel that pressure change, I didn't realize how strong that pressure was, how much that latch on was until now. And I'm just really grateful that energetically it feels like I'm going to be able to get myself back to a place where I feel happy every day again, or joyful and excited about living my life. Because that's the state that I got out of, and I fell into feeling just hopeless and helpless and in despair and fear, and that's no way to live. Stress is a killer, you know, and I knew I needed to take this seriously, the stress that I've been under. Like, it needed to be something needed to be put to a stop. Otherwise, it was going to start to have really, really bad negative effects on my body. It already has been, I'm pretty sure. Okay? Like, it already has been. But I've had it go. I've let it go long enough in the past, okay, where I, like, basically was in full-on chronic fatigue and, like, had no energy to do anything. Like, could barely take care of myself, let alone my children. Very bad place. And I won't let myself get back to that again. And that's why I was just so fervent about finding a way out of this, finding a way out of that, of having it be hidden, okay? Doing it alone. That's really what I felt like. I felt like I was doing it all alone, and I had to make sure that that wasn't the case again. Like, I did not speak up in time last time, it felt like. And these are the things that people, that, I don't know, for me, it's like, that's the things I beat myself up for. Like, God dang it. Like, there were signs. Why didn't you pay attention? Like, okay, look at that. See my actual physical motion, even like body language wise. Like, this is me beating myself up. Why didn't you listen? Okay, I need to have compassion for myself. I was doing the best I could at the time. I was making the best decisions I could make at the time. I could not foresee certain things. Just because I can see them now, I was not the same person back then that I am now, even. I have a new level of self-trust that I didn't have back then, that I didn't have for all of my life. So, well, I really spun out with that one. So, hopefully that answers your question. Yes, I'm glad you understand, Queen Victor. Thank you for confirming. Exactly, right? Yep, that's what it feels like now. I just needed to be more educated on it, is the thing. Is that I never fully let myself get educated on it because I was going through such struggles back when the first time I went through something like this. I was trying to still manage taking care of my kids. I just didn't have the access to the resources like I do now. Because when you want to know something, when you truly want to understand something, when you truly want those answers, that's that Ace of Wands. That's the Ace of Rods, Ace of Wands. Okay, that's the time, like you will be propelled and shifted to do this certain thing, to follow it out. And that's all I want to do, is just keep my inspiration and my motivation going to grow and change and live, and really live life. Okay, I'm just reading over a couple of things. Yes, exactly, Miss White Swan. Something had to give. Emotional beatdowns are a real thing, and they don't leave bruises and wounds like physical domestic violence does. So it stays longer too, which is the sad, hard part about it, which is why I really am, again, I'm grateful in the long run to be able to find the way through this, so that way I can share it with you guys. And hopefully if any of you guys are going through it, because there's no way, most people, we all have experienced trauma at some point or another, and it feels good. It's like, you guys are here, part of my healing. Like, me sharing this stuff with you is part of my healing. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Truly. All right, guys. If that's all, thank you for the wonderful question, Noble Truth. I really appreciate that. Appreciate your presence in my life. Love you guys. think I'm going to head out here in a second. My bangs are getting to an unruly length, guys. You're going to see the clips start coming back. The butterfly clips. Yes, thank you, Braden, for being here. Really appreciate you guys. And please share my video if you resonate with it at all and you know someone who might want to take a look at it. All right, I'm about to hit it. Bye, guys. See you next week.